Intermittent fasting fails when you skip breakfast. So hear me out. Most people, when they do intermittent fasting, they skip breakfast as the one meal where they fast for 12 to 16 hours. Why do people fail at intermittent fasting when they skip the breakfast? Because this is what happens. When you skip breakfast, you're starving at lunch, and you eat too much at lunch, which is okay because it's still during the day. You're active. Hopefully you're active during the day, and you can use up some of that energy, some of that glucose that comes from your food. But here's the problem. The problem is when it comes to dinner, you either have a late dinner or you have a too big of a dinner. The dinner is too huge, right? And that's why intermittent fasting, for many people, they experience this. They start doing it. It may work, but it works for the first couple of weeks, first 1 or 2 weeks, and then it stops working. And in fact, people start gaining weight because most people do intermittent fasting to lose weight, right? So let's talk about that. So when you do it for weight loss, if you skip the breakfast one, some people, not everybody, some people, but I'm talking about the old, the more elderly, or people who are above 50, 60 years old, and you're doing intermittent fasting for weight loss, it's not as successful when you skip the breakfast. It's more successful when you skip dinner. So the best way to do it is to skip dinner, fast that way instead of fasting the breakfast, because during the day you're more active, so you're consuming a lot of those calories, a lot of the energy from the food. If you skip breakfast and you eat dinner, what are you doing after dinner? You're sleeping. So you're not consuming as much of the energy and much of the calories that you just consumed, right? And now if you could eat a small dinner, that would still work. But the reality is, let's be honest with ourselves. The reality is, if you skip breakfast, you have a huge lunch and you have a huge dinner. That's the reality. I've treated over thousands of people, and when they do the intermittent fasting, that's what we see over and over again. So if you're doing intermittent fasting, absolutely works. It actually can help reset your body and your organs, because that's when you're fasting is when you stimulate, when you activate autophagy, which is a self-cleaning mechanism your body has. So basically your body sends out the cleaning company when you feel a little hungry, right? And we can talk about that in another post. But intermittent fasting, if you want it to be successful, this is the one meal you want to skip is dinner, not breakfast. I see more people have success when they do it and when they skip dinner, and I see people have less success when they do breakfast. And it's mainly because of self-control, discipline. Now, most people cannot do it on dinner because we say, that's when we eat with our families, that's when we have time with our families, and I understand that. Either get your family on board. Do not say, okay, my family will eat what they eat, I will just eat a small salad. You'll do that for 1 or 2 times, but let's be real, it ain't gonna sustain. You can't do that consistently because you see other people eating all this good stuff. You want to eat some too, right? I know. I'm a foodie, so I love food, so I understand. So don't put yourself in a situation of failure. If you want to succeed with intermittent fasting to lose weight, you want to skip dinner, right, and eat breakfast and lunch. That will give you a higher success rate than you just skipping breakfast and eating lunch and dinner.